Hey man, what it is? This is Deem, and I am your host, and this is By Any Means. There go to PayPal at Deem by any means. There go to Cash App, $ Deem by any means. Y'all already know what I'm about to say. I don't care if you leave $4, $40, $400. It's much appreciated. Um, Williams and Pay to show clear separation last night. He shows us a difference. In gas tank. He shows that it's tough. He's a tough guy to beat. That he has a chin. Maxi Hughes was beat from pillar to post, um, from start to finish last night. And Maxi Hughes was a good fighter. I actually thought Maxi Hughes beat George Kambosos. That's just me. You dig what I'm saying? But it is what it is. But also, it just shows the level and competition that Williams Zepeda feels as though he's trying to leave his mark on the sport. He's stepping up in his game. He kept the pressure on. I mean, from start to finish. Williams Zepeda could be a little more defensively responsible. He could definitely do that, because somebody that's a lot more put together, used a jab, got better footwork, won't really give him a problem in there because I ain't gonna say that he's flat footed. Well, yeah, he is pretty flat footed. Zepeda's pretty flat footed because he just want to come in there and seek and destroy. Very accurate with his punches and just relentless with the pressure, just like a bigger version of Issa Cruz. I just don't think with as much head movement. He got to get better with his head movement. But I think if he implements that and a little better footwork, Williams Zepeda could really be a problem for everybody at that lightweight division. And is at this time everybody gonna have to see him too. He's also making a mark where it's kind of hard not to fight him. Like one of the top guys are going to have to fight him. It just is what it is. He's making his mark as far as becoming a top contender. He already been up there for like the last year or so. So Williams Zepeda had an amazing performance. I gotta give my guy his credit. He did what he was in there supposed to do, putting on for Mexico, and you know how much they love they boxing. So if he continue to go up in the ranks, I definitely could see him fighting a Gervontadavis because we already know what that probably would do if Zepeda is able to beat a Lomachenko or somebody like that, a Frank Martin, a Shakur. If he's able to beat one of those, he could definitely probably get that fight because then it'll be built up. It'll be built up enough where people will be like, all right, Tank, fight him. You see what I'm saying? Like, so it's a crazy dynamic, but he did his thing, man. He came in, he saw, he destroyed. He didn't play no games. I do love that though about Williams Zepeda that a lot of other boxers don't have. I think they play too many games. They don't go in there to destroy, and that's the problem. Like, who was I watching last night? What's his name? The guy Priest, Eric Priest. Eric Priest could have stopped that man. Eric Priest could have stopped that man, but he didn't use his jab enough. He didn't keep enough pressure on the guy. He let him stay around a little bit too long. Williams Zepeda does not make those mistakes. Williams Zepeda does not make those mistakes. He's similar to a Sabril Matias in that way, where it's like once he sees an opening, once he cracks you open, it's similar to an egg. He's going to come in and continue to make sure he get to the body. Like he was relentless on the body. And that's what you got to do when you get a guy hurt. A lot of people think that you just go for the kill shots and the uppercut and the left hook and the right hook. No. When you got a guy hurt, you start getting to that body because he's going to, then it opens up the head shots, and that's what you're looking for. Because now he's thinking he's trying to survive. He's hurting, and now he's trying to cover his body. His ribs feeling some type of weight also. So he got to put his hands down a little bit lower. Put his guard down a little bit lower, and then here come the jab, the straights, the right hooks, and things like that. If you put the right combinations together, the way Williams Zepeda was doing. So Maxi Hughes didn't come out of the corner after the fourth round. Um, and that was just like pure domination right there. Like that was just domination, man. I thought that Maxi Hughes, I thought it would at least go 9, 10 rounds. I did not see that part coming. I did not see that part coming because I think I like Maxi Hughes a little bit, but he just seemed drained. I don't know if it was the Pater's power and relentlessness that wore him down, or is it Maxi Hughes' age and just he didn't have a good training camp. But whatever it was, Maxi Hughes didn't look his normal upbeat self. He looked a little drained. Like and I ain't talking about weight wise. I'm just talking about energy wise. Like he didn't come out with any. It seemed like he was trying to survive from ding ding, and that's unfortunate. I see his wife over there. She was looking very concerned. It just looked like he didn't have a good training camp. It looked like he didn't have zero gas tank. Like Zepeda was putting out all of the punches, but it seemed like Maxi Hughes was the guy that you would think wouldn't be tired, like because he was just getting beat on like a punching bag. But I guess it was just so much. I guess it was just so much to deal with at the time. Um, with William Zepeda's relentlessness and his constant coming forward, like he's constant with it, like how Ista Cruz is. I don't know what wore Maxi Hughes down, but what I didn't like what I saw. And I think that he needs to really go back to the drawing board, like for real, and wonder if those was one of those beatings that make me question: do you want to box? Because I'm not used to seeing that from Maxi Hughes. Maxi Hughes usually goes in there against anybody he's fighting, and and puts on a show for the most part. But guess what? That's why I feel as though that William Zepeda showed the separation, because I think that was more of William Zepeda's talent and relentlessness, and Maxi Hughes did not know how to deal with that. He didn't know how to deal with somebody constantly going from your body to your head, and not stopping, never moving backwards, not even a little bit, stalking you around that ring. And William Zepeda does that very well. Like Maxi Hughes wasn't able to counteract what William Zepeda does very well. You're going to lose the fight then. And it's going to look like that because you have no counter punching. You wasn't moving your head. You just had your guard up the whole time. You were just a standstill target for him to hit. And William Zepeda has somewhat agility and speed. William Zepeda is not unathletic. He's not the most athletic guy, but he's not unathletic, whereas though he can't get his punches to where he want them to be. And he'll put them together. He could be a combination puncher also. He's very good at that. William Zepeda is like, y'all know when y'all make a guy in 2K and you put everything at 80, and it's like his footwork, yeah, and his head movement could be a little better. They might be at like 65, but you put it, everything else he kind of got at like an 80, which makes him like an 85. Y'all know what I'm talking about when you put his IQ up and all that. Like, William Zepeda is a very good fighter, and he doesn't have too many weaknesses. Now, the things that he doesn't do well, people like Gervontadavis and Shakurstevenson, even a Lomachenko, I could see taking advantage of that. But that's only if Lomachenko is able to keep that gas in his tank. See, Shakur and Gervonta, I know William Zepeda he don't have no choice but to put to take his foot off the gas a little bit. Because first of all, with Shakur, you could put pressure on all you want, but if you can't get to him and he's slipping and dodging and jabbing you, there's nothing you really could do about that. Now you about to just lose on points. Gervonta Davis, y'all know why you don't do that with him. I mean, I don't gotta put it. You know why you don't do that. So this was a great performance from William Zepeda. I think he got a lot that he could work on. Um, he needs to implement what I feel as though Issa Cruz is trying to implement, of getting that side step together, getting around. He was doing it a little bit, but I need to see more footwork. If you're going to be flat footed and a come forward fighter, that don't mean you got to be staying still. And you create more openings. You got him thinking when you move inside the side on him and you bouncing around on him, you not just right there. That's why Maxi Hughes was able to do some counters, but it was just he was so worried about what was coming back at him. He just started protecting himself, and I understand that. But every fighter, like a Frank Martin last night, a lot of those counters that he was getting hit with, like William Zepeda would have backed up. It would have been a different fight. You understand what I'm saying? He wouldn't have just allowed that to happen. He wouldn't have went straight into a defensive mode. He going to sidestep, bring hooks back to the body, jab you, move you back. So those are things that I think William Zepeda has to implement in his game, get his footwork together. Um, he pretty much uses his jab. He uses all the tools in the toolbox. My main concern is just his head movement and his footwork. If he got those two things together, that would make him an even better fighter. He could work on being a little more explosive. He could work on that also. So I'll say those three things I would like to see Williams Zepeda get a little bit better at: his footwork, his explosiveness, and his head movement. And if he implements those three things, he gonna be. They already got to deal with him. He already a top ranked lightweight, so they already have to deal with him. It just is what it is. People, you're gonna have to fight William Zepeda eventually, either now or in the next year or two. You're gonna have to fight him. Whoever those, all three of those guys is at the top. All four of them, him, Frank, Loma, Gervonta, they all gonna have to see William Zepeda. At least two of them gonna have to see him. So I am looking forward to that. So we'll see, man. But Williams Zepeda, great performance last night, man. Going in there for the kill, not playing with your food, making easy work, showing separation, and that's what boxing is about. Now he's going to get a lot of opportunities because he went in there and destroyed a fighter in Maxi Hughes worse than anybody else has done him. So, you know what I mean? He couldn't even get off the stool. So, listen, man, y'all know what this is. Dean, by any means. And I holla at y'all.